Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay Rose. I am a mindset manifestation coach and a quantum healer. And in today's video, I want to share with you a really powerful tool to be able to go from negative thoughts to positive thoughts. But first, I want to talk about why we have negative thoughts and why we're kind of conditioned to believe more so in the negative than the positive. So when we think about our reptilian brain, as our species was evolving, we were constantly in that sort of fight or flight mode, looking for things in our environment that could potentially hurt us or harm us. So we were always in this mode of trying to figure out what could go wrong. And it was just part of our evolution. Not only that, but science has shown that if you've grown up in an environment with caretakers that were really negative or pessimistic, that can actually be passed down. So negative thinking can be hereditary and genetic. It's the way the brain is sort of programmed. So the great thing about this, though, is we now know that the brain is malleable. We can change it. It's known as neuroplasticity. The way that your brain got programmed to begin with was in the formative years of your life. So from 0 to 7, as you were growing up, your brain was in a state of theta, which is a state where you're essentially just like between wake and asleep, and everything that you are experiencing is just absorbed into you without any cognitive reasoning. You don't think about whether it's real or true or false. It's just literally being programmed into you like a computer system. So you may notice as you get older that your life is starting to kind of take the shape of what you experienced in your childhood. These negative beliefs literally shape our reality. They shape the limitations that we create for ourselves, what we believe is possible, who we believe that we are, what we believe life is, right? If you ask yourself the question, is the universe a friendly place or a hostile place? Whatever answer comes to you is going to give you a clear indication as to how you create your reality and which lens you're looking through. Belief systems are not true. They just are. So belief is just a thought that you keep thinking over and over and over again until it becomes automated. So what your subconscious mind does is when you think something on repeat, it recognizes it as an important piece of information. So instead of you having to think about it all the time, it just automates it for you, kind of like driving a car. When you get into the car after driving for many, many years, you don't have to think about how to drive the car. You just know how to drive the car. That's sort of how unconscious beliefs work. Now, in order to change an unconscious belief, we have to become aware of the belief, but we also have to be empowered and recognize that we're choosing it. Your beliefs are very easy to change, okay? So when you identify that you're coming up against something, or you're thinking a negative thought, or you're noticing a pattern repeating in your life of something negative that just keeps happening to you, something unwanted, you have to become aware and ask yourself, what do I have to believe is true to be experiencing this? Whenever you uncover what that belief system is, now you can take ownership of it and you can change it. We can't change what we don't own. So when you see that belief pop up, you want to say, oh, okay, interesting. And ask yourself, okay, this belief that I'm believing in, what is this making me feel? Okay, what does that belief bring up in me in terms of how I'm feeling? Because beliefs create emotions, they create feelings, and those feelings drive our actions. So when you identify the belief and you identify the feeling, this is how you take ownership of it. And this is a tool that I learned from Bashar. So you're going to say, I am feeling blank, whatever the emotion is. And then you're going to say, because I choose to believe that I must. Okay? As soon as you say that, you close the loop, you take ownership of it, and you recognize your power. That's the most important thing. When you identify that you are in control of what you're choosing, you can change what you're choosing. And you can do this for positive beliefs as well. So when you're having a really good emotion that you're feeling, you can say, I am feeling so much joy right now because I choose to believe that I must. I am now empowered. I now know that I can choose what I want to believe in. Now, in order to change a belief system, it takes consistency and repetition. You really have to be very vigilant and have the mental fortitude to recognize what you're thinking about, what you're believing, and work to change that. Now, this is where I highly recommend having a journaling and meditation practice, because journaling and meditation is going to take you inward, and that is where all your power lies. There's nothing to change but self, as Neville Goddard says. So there's nothing that you can change outside of yourself or manipulate outside of yourself. It all has to start from within. But most of the time, we don't know what's happening within because our world is so loud and distracting that we can't even hear our own thoughts. We don't even know what we're feeling. We don't know what's going on inside of us. So I recommend that when you do a meditation practice, you don't try to judge what comes up. You just really practice being the witnesser and the observer of whatever is happening within you. Just kind of acknowledge it and try to understand it. And then as you come out of your meditation, I just recommend journaling about what thoughts you noticed coming up, or, what images were showing up in your meditation. What feelings were you feeling? There's a lot of value that you get by asking yourself questions and tuning in and listening, because everything that you need to know is already inside of you. You're never going to find it outside of yourself. Everything is going to always lead you back to coming back to you and your truth. And that's where the real answers lie. So if you're struggling with something right now in your life where it's a repeating pattern or something just keeps happening and you feel stuck, just know that stuck is just a feeling and the answer is always within. And so all you have to do is really ask your subconscious mind the question. Ask your subconscious mind to show you what the block is that's stopping you or preventing you from moving forward with your life to be able to attract what you want. And then you'll find the answer if you listen, whether it's in a meditation or it's in your dream state or it comes up as some sort of repeating number or thing that you see in your reality. Your subconscious is always going to give you the information. Just like it says in the Bible, when you knock, the door will open. When you ask, you will receive. That's sort of how this works, but you have to ask. You have to be willing. You have to set that momentum into play in order for it to give you what you want. You got to ask for what you want in this reality. So just to recap this, if you're struggling with any sort of negativity, negative thought loop, negative belief that you want to work to change, just be sure to acknowledge it, figure out what it is. Again, ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe is true in order to be experiencing this? You can kind of take it a step further and you can really work to challenge this belief. I always say, nothing is true unless it's 100% true for 100% of the population, 100% of the time, okay? So that's why when you look at that belief, you're gonna go, okay, this isn't always true for everyone because so-and-so doesn't believe that, or so-and-so has experienced something different. So we challenge the belief. We really just take away the validity of it. And then you want to plug in beliefs that you want to believe, things that empower you, things that really align with the version of yourself that you want to be, that really, make you feel empowered and confident in yourself and believe in that possibility. So you want to then reaffirm to yourself the positive, what you want to believe, what you want to ingrain into your mind, and play it on repeat. An app that I really love is Think Up. And whenever I'm trying to deeply embed a new thought form, I'll just play that on repeat. I'll put it on Think Up and I'll just listen to it over and over again. I'll repeat it as a mantra. I'll repeat it in the shower. I'll repeat it while I'm brushing my teeth. I get really passionate about it. You can also listen to affirmations while you're sleeping because, again, your brain is in a theta state as you're sleeping. So even though you're asleep, your subconscious mind is still awake and it's still absorbing the information. So sleep affirmations are really great for that as well. And that's been a wonderful tool to support me in changing my mindset. But really, you just got to identify, I figure it out, have the awareness, and then have the fortitude to become aware of it and be consistent with it. Just be consistent with changing, be committed to that. And I promise you, you can make a change. You have the power to change your reality. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. As always, if you like this, please thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with a friend that needs to hear this today. And I really appreciate every single one of you that watch these videos, that subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I just hope this was able to help you today. Leave a comment below if you have any questions or anything that you wanted me to do a video on coming up in the future. I'm really committed to showing up on this channel more and giving you guys some really valuable content and helping you be able to change your mindset and change your life. Until next time.